Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a monthly look at, not a monthly look, a look at your month ahead for the sign of Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn anywhere in your chart, maybe you vibe with Capricorns, you could be a cross watcher, this reading may resonate for you. As always, we're going to take what resonates and we're going to leave what does not. Okay, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. We're going to be doing a Celtic cross for you today, Capricorn, which is just essentially like your whole, it's kind of your whole month under a microscope. We're going to see what's going on, what's stopping you, past, present, future. We've got it all here. So let's dive in. I'm going to take both of these. They came out together, so I'm going to take them together. All right. Let's see, Capricorn. The way that I'm hearing this right off the bat, which I think is interesting, is like fighting structure. It feels like some of you might be breaking out of your structure in July. This is for July, by the way, if I didn't say that. It feels like some of you are fighting a little bit of structure here. You may be breaking out of a mold or like a cast you set for yourself. Interesting. Definitely slow and steady for this month because even your cards they're coming out slow and steady. They're not flying out, but they're also not like taking their time. So it does feel like this is a month where you are going to be tapping into a little bit more of an energy of being a bit more meticulous. It does feel like you are kind of looking at the bigger picture here, I want to say, and not focusing on so many of the like smaller, more minute details, which you may tend to get caught up on a little bit more. So let's dive in. Let's talk about it. Bottom of the deck is the Three of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Temperance. Bottom of the deck represents our challenge. So Capricorn, your challenge in July almost feels like contentment is what I want to say here. It does feel like you may be walking like a long road right now, Capricorn, or it almost feels like the things that you want, the things that you're looking for, wishing for, manifesting for yourself here, these are not quick asks, is how I'm picking this up. It feels like you are kind of getting what you want, but there is almost like a waiting period here. You know, it's like I always use the example of like if we're asking, you know, for a really big ask. You know, I've been trying to manifest a husband since I was like 14. That's not happening overnight, right? Like I'm just not, the stork isn't going to drop a husband on my front porch, right? For you guys, it's the same sort of energy here. Whatever you're asking for, whatever you're trying to manifest, I feel like your guides are wanting you to understand that you're playing the long game right now, Capricorn. So don't feel impatient. This almost feels like, again, it's because you're breaking out of this caste system, this like mold that you have for yourself where everything has to happen at like a very specific time in like a very specific way. You're breaking free of that and allowing things to like just sort of let it go and let it flow, which is really beautiful. So let's dive in. Let's see what's going on. So you start with the Emperor right off the bat, Capricorn. This doesn't really shock me. Capricorn and Earth signs are very well known for being very much in control of their lives, right? When we talk about the Emperor here in the current energies, that is an energy of like, I've got it down. I know everything. It's like the way I'm hearing it is you kind of have your life down to a science. And I feel like it almost creates, I would be a little careful with this, Capricorn, because it feels like you guys are, how do I explain this? The way my guides are saying this is it's like you're plugging in, think about math equations. You're plugging in the wrong numbers into equations that are not used for them, you know? So like, let's say you had an equation that you used in, I don't know, geometry, and then you try to use that equation in algebra 2 and trig, it doesn't work. It doesn't equal up, okay? So it's like, I feel like your guides are letting you know you're using like new data with an old equation and expecting to get the outcome that you want, and it's not going to happen that way, Capricorn, okay? There needs to be a little bit more release of control here. Stop micromanaging. You know, your crossing card in a Celtic cross, the cross is either help or hindrance. You've got the Hanged Man here. I do feel like for you guys, this should be more of a help, but I almost feel like it's a little bit of a hindrance, Capricorn, because I do feel like some of you guys don't really take a lot of time for yourselves. You know, you're not really, the way my guides are saying this to me is that you're not enjoying the life that you are building. And I feel like that's a little bit of like a place of opportunity for growth in July for you, of like not needing to get to, I just heard deadline really loud. Maybe you're holding deadlines for yourself and you're like, oh, I should have this by then, and this should happen by then, and then this should happen. We have to learn to release these, right? You know, I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart, so I understand this. For a long time, I always said to myself, sorry, I'm like eating my beard. I always used to say to myself, well, by this age, I'm going to be married. And by this age, I'm going to have a house. And by this age, I'm going to have this. Babe, things don't happen like that. You know, very early on in my life, I had to learn, oh, wait, that's not how this is actually going to work. And I feel like that's what July is coming in to kind of showcase for you guys. That maybe the time frames and the deadlines you are giving yourselves are not actually helpful. I feel like, in fact, they might be a little bit, they might be hurting you a little bit here. Yeah, Four of Wands, Four of Cups, 4-4. Fours could be significant for you, Capricorn, in July. Or April could be significant. Oh my goodness. Emperor in the challenge with the King of Pentacles. You guys are King of Cups. You're definitely feeling a little bit out of your power in July. I feel like it's very, the way I'm hearing it is like, it feels out of character for you to have to wait. It feels out of character for you to let it go and let it flow. You know, Capricorn is a very meticulous sign. For instance, like, I know a lot of Capricorns, and like I said, I am a strong Capricorn in my chart. I am very, like, when it comes to trips or like going to a convention or doing a fair or anything of the sort, I am very meticulous with the planning. I like to have everything planned down to a T. Okay. And it feels like a lot of you guys may share that sentiment with me, but your guides are asking you to take a little bit more, I almost want to say, of a backseat here. You don't need to have every single minute of every single day planned out to get to your desired outcome, right? Because you've got the Four of Wands, you've got the Four of Cups, and you've got the Three of Pentacles here. I do feel like there's almost like a helper coming in this month, I want to say, for you. With that Three of Pentacles, it feels like in a moment where you're sort of like this is a strong word I'm hearing, dejected, like feeling a little dejected. You may actually have a helper coming in to kind of lift you up and assist you this month. It feels like with that Three of Pentacles, this is probably going to be like a friend, a coworker, someone you trust on a work level, that is going to look to kind of enhance. The way I'm hearing it is like enhance your experience this month, which I think is an interesting way to put it. So that's a bit interesting here. I feel like they're going to help you learn when to be meticulous and when to not. You know, with that Four of Cups here, I feel like for some of you, it's a learning moment of like, when do I go all in versus when do I take a step back? You know, not so much, again, micromanaging. Because in your headspace, you've got the Hierophant, Capricorn. So the Hierophant is, again, your commitment to almost like traditionalism here. I feel like some of you guys are still... There's a little bit of a struggle here for you of like, well, I'm putting the work in, so I should be getting the results. The way my guides want me to give this to you is pretty rough. This is a very hard lesson to learn, and it's one I had to learn when I was very young. You can make all of the right moves and still lose the game. The way I'm hearing it is like, sometimes life has a way of, this is so funny the way my guys are showing this to me, like rubber banding and snapping back to you. And so it feels like you may be doing all the correct steps that you are deeming right, of course, for yourself, for your business, for whatever this is that we're talking about in July, but you may not be getting the results that you want. And this is not a reflection of your like ineptitude. This is a reflection of just, this is how the cookie is crumbling. This is just how the cards are kind of falling right now. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. I feel like you need to remember to not lose momentum, though. just because it's not happening right away. Five of Swords, some of you are going to be tempted this month to give up. Like, because it's not happening exactly in the way that you want it to be happening. Some of you guys are going to be like, oh, I should just stop. Like, maybe this isn't for me. Yeah, Nine of Swords. It's going to put you in your head, Capricorn, really heavily. And I feel like this is coming up preemptively so that you understand, like, during these slow periods, during, you know, these moments where things are not going the way that you want it to go, it is not a reflection of you. Like, the way my guides are giving things to me also is for those of us that are in the States, like, we're in a recession, babe. Like, things are pretty rough right now, you know? And outside of the country too, every country, wherever you are in the world, has their own sort of microcosm of things that will be affecting you from your day-to-day life. We all have to remember that spirituality has to abide by the laws of physics and the laws of the world around you, right? So I feel like for some of you, your spiritual understanding of what you're doing needs to incorporate a little bit more understanding of, like, global events, what's happening in your country's economy, what's going on in your government. You know, all these things play into success and play into, well, how are we going to get to where we need to get to? So, like, I feel like for a lot of you guys, please remember to, like, look, like I said, wherever you are in the world, pay attention to your local government, pay attention to your bigger government, pay attention to your economy. All these things are playing into, especially work and money. All of these things are playing into that. So please do not think that it's just you being inept, you being not good enough. It has nothing to do with that, I promise you. Okay? In your physical world, you've got the Seven of Wands. I'd be a little careful, Capricorn, in July. You're coming off a little bit. I think one of the other earth signs had this as well. You're coming off a little frosty. You're coming off a little defensive, a little, like, guarded. And I feel like this is because of what we talked about going on in your headspace. You're overthinking a lot, and you're overanalyzing a lot. And it feels like it's causing you to become almost kind of angry, defensive, not really looking to kiki in your physical world. Let's see. Can I get more on the Seven of Wands, please? Yeah, Knight of Swords, Nine of Wands, Six of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, it's just you're really down about you're not getting the reception that you want right now for whatever reason. Whether or not this is work, for a lot of you it is with the Six of Pentacles. It may be slow for you right now. And I feel like what you need to understand here with that Knight of Swords and Six of Pentacles is that the way I'm hearing it is the pendulum will swing back your way. Okay? Like, there is an ebb and flow. Think of the moon tides. There is an ebb and flow. There is a high tide. There is a low tide. Okay? I feel like your guides want you to understand that this might be a moment for you where you're penny pinching. It might be a moment for you where the purse strings are a little tight right now, Capricorn. That, again, is not a reflection of your, I cannot say it enough, it is not a reflection of your ineptitude, okay? It is not a reflection of you not being good enough. I really just feel like for a lot of you, you need to understand that the world is a mess at large right now. There's a lot of astrological shifts going on. There's a lot of shifts everywhere going on all over the world. I promise you the needle will swing back to you. Okay, this is not going to be a forever sort of shift for you where things are slow, where things are not moving at the pace you want them to move. It will, again, fall back into your favor, but there is some sort of lesson here for you to learn, probably in the realm of this is not a reflection of you. That's what this is feeling like to me, because it feels like you blame yourself. You'll be like, oh, I'm slow this month, or business is bad this month, it's my fault. It's not your fault here, babe, okay? I feel like you really need to understand that. I feel like July is really going to push the envelope for you in that regard. Because in your past, you've got the Magician and the Five of Wands. Capricorn, I also feel like you guys have a little bit of a struggle here, or at least you did in the past, of calling in what you actually wanted here. It feels like there's been some delays. Yeah, you have the Lover's bottom of the deck. For some of you, this could be love. Like, there's been some delays on the love front for you. You're like, well, where is it? I'm calling it in. Why is it not showing up here? But I feel like herein lies the larger lesson for you also, Capricorn, is the way that I'm hearing it is like, are you going to settle? You know, I feel like for some of you, this is really specific. For some of you, you know a lot of couples, but if you look very closely at them, they're all unhappy. You know? And so I feel like for those of you that are wanting love, are asking for the Capricorns trying to manifest love for themselves, it will happen, but I feel like there is a larger lesson that needs to be learned here about settling. Huh. Weird. Y'all may have I literally said this in the other Earth sign reading in the Taurus. I think I said it. I don't do very often. I will not read about exes returning unless it genuinely shows up in the energy. And Capricorn, it's showing up here, so I gotta read it. Okay, Judgment is the only card that talks about a rebirth, like not a rebirth, a reemergence of something from the past. The Six of Wands is victory, and the King of Cups is masculine water energy. For some of you, there's someone coming back around. Ooh, someone that you had a bad ending with. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords. This is someone who put you through a lot of heartbreak here, Capricorn. Let me see. I'm curious. Why are they coming back around? Why is this resurfacing, please? The Star. It feels like this person has healed. Like, for those of you that this is a person, it feels like this person has worked on themselves. 2 of Swords. It's going to leave you with a decision, Capricorn. Do you entertain it? You know? What's their intention for Capricorn? Like, what are they coming in intention-wise with? Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. 2 of Wands. Oh, sorry. That just made me, like, cry a little bit. Ooh, this person really put you through the ringer, Capricorn. What's their intention here? I don't love this. I don't love this for you, Capricorn, okay? 2 of Wands with the Fool. I'm so sorry. I'm, like, choking right now. I'm, like, all of a sudden, we started talking about this, and now I'm coughing. Maybe this... I don't know if you're sick, or maybe this person is sick. Or, like, they just aggravate you into being sick. I really don't know, but all of a sudden, as I start talking about this, now I'm, like, ready to hack up a lung. Capricorn, the reason I don't love this for you is because I feel like this person is still a bit wishy-washy. It feels like with the Star, the 2 of Swords, the 2 of Wands, and the Fool, it's almost like it's taking this person a lot of courage to make themselves known, but I almost feel like, okay, I just heard that from my guide. You can only know this person as deeply as they know themselves. And I don't feel like this person knows themselves very well. Okay. I feel like this is someone who, King of Wands, like maybe they have a lot of passion for you. 2 of Cups, the Chariot, the Emperor. Okay. Maybe they have a lot of passion for you. Maybe they are really in love with you. But this is a very old case of you can only meet someone at the depth at which they know themselves. How well does this person know themselves? Said that wrong. You know, I feel like that's where you are coming in from. It's just this idea of when this person like swings back around, it really is a moment for you of like, okay, first of all, what do you want? But also, second of all, like, how much have you worked on yourself? You know, like, what does your life look like now? How do you feel about yourself now? Like, what do your goals look like now? I feel like, Capricorn, you are a very practical sign, and I feel like you are going to ask very practical questions here. Ultimately, we all have free will. Let that be said. Let that be known. Babe, you can do whatever you want here, but I am going to give you the advice of be smart. Okay? Be meticulous in how you're vetting this person and regarding if and when you would like them back in your life, okay? Let's move on from that. In your near future, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So for some of you, I'd be careful, like I said, with this person coming back. Queen of Pentacles is a mom card for me. If you don't want to be a mother, take the precaution. If you do want to be a mother, that might be something that's coming in for you. But let's see. Let me clarify this. Queen of Pentacles can mean so many different things. So we are going to get more cards out here. Okay, Five of Wands. The Sun? And the Four of Swords. So the Five of Wands is conflict. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. And the Four of Swords is arrest. It almost feels like, for a lot of you, okay, this feels like we're going off the past again. I'm so sorry this is turning into a returning love reading. For those of you that have a person coming back, again, I will pull some extra cards for those of you that don't have a person coming back. You get to decide whether or not this makes you happy. Okay, that's where I feel like this is coming in for you. It's very much giving, like, you get to hold, you're holding the cards right now, Capricorn, right? You don't have to let this person back in, okay? But it does feel like you will debate it a little bit, is what I want to say here. You will think about it, and ultimately the decision rests on, will it make you happy? Will it give back to you? Some of you have allergies real bad. I have been fine all morning, and now all of a sudden I'm doing this reading, and I'm sneezing, my eye is itchy, my nose is running. Some of y'all need to take an Allegra today, you know. But it feels like you're holding a lot more cards than you think here, Capricorn. You really do get to decide whether or not this is right for you. For those of us that are not love, what is this Queen of Pentacles, please? Not love. Are we kidding? I said, for those of us that it's not love, and they said, no, it's love for all of them. Okay. Give me two more, please. Excuse me, I told you guys. The Hermit, Queen of Wands, and the Lovers. I feel like for those of you that do not have someone returning, this is a larger kind of discussion with yourself in the near future of where do you want to go? You know, as far as love goes, this does feel like you will be entertaining a love topic for yourself, but it also does feel like single, ready to mingle here. You know, the Lovers, the Queen of Wands, and the Hermit, do you want to entertain, or are you still in a hermit mode? Are you still in a mode of sort of like getting all your ducks in a row and making sure things look orderly and neat and good enough for you? Okay, it feels like that's the real twist that's coming in for you in July. Some of you may be getting back out onto dating apps, I'm hearing like back on this scene, which I think is so funny. It's kind of like an old lingo I feel like we would use, back on the scene, back in the dating arena is what I say. It's the dating arena. Some of you are going to be entertaining that, okay? Because I do feel like, Capricorn, you are ready for a person, okay? You've got in how you're viewing yourself the Knight of Cups. I do feel like your life right now, the way I'm hearing it, is like you want it to unfold. Like I almost feel like I keep seeing like a flower bloom, like a flower, you know, when it's in a bulb and then it like opens, like a flower opening. It feels like you're ready to share your life, not just romantically, but platonically with other people. It almost feels like you're blooming, Capricorn, which is a really beautiful image here, you know? But let's see. The Chariot, the Ten of Cups, and the Devil. Interesting. I feel like for a lot of you, the way I'm hearing it is like, as you bloom, you're fighting the demons off. You know, I feel like for a lot of you, the fear here is vulnerability. You know, I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to look a certain way, but I feel like a lot of you are also recognizing that if you want something beautiful, you have to go after it here. You know, this is not just like a moment of... The way my guys are saying this to me is kind of funny. Being a ding-a-ling, I don't know. Some of you may have a grandmother on the other side. That is a very old-fashioned way to put it. But some of you may find that you're being a little bit of a ding-a-ling here. And I feel like you're recognizing, like, as you're starting to take your own life more seriously, things have to change, right? I can't just be out and about flitting my wings, doing whatever. I have to be consciously interacting and driving and steering my own life in the direction that I want it to go, right? Because your superpower right now is the Sun. Capricorn, I feel like at the core of this, you are very happy. I don't feel like I don't feel like I don't feel depressed here. I feel genuinely content, Capricorn, in your reading. I feel like you are genuinely content with your world. And I feel like July is highlighting that for you. You know, the way that I'm hearing it is you may not have the most money, you may not have all the flashy things, but like you are content with what you've built, you know? And I think that's a really, really beautiful place to be. You know, it's like a real world example is like, I love my bedroom. You know, you guys see, this is my bedroom. This is where I film. And like, I am so content with my bedroom. I basically never leave it, you know? And I feel like that's Capricorn. I feel like that's where you're almost at right now. Yeah. 7 of Cups in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles. Excuse me, 7 of Pentacles in the reverse with the Page of Pentacles. I feel like, again, some of you, there is a little bit of this stress here that's showing up. Like, okay, where is it? I'm putting the effort in. Again, this is might be talking about work for some of you. I'm putting the effort in. I'm showing up. What's happening? Like, why isn't what I want getting to me in the speed in which I want it to get to me? And I feel like Capricorn, this is just, again, a very good reminder for you that you can feel there's a duality here, right? Two things can exist simultaneously. I can be frustrated with the fact that my manifestation is not here, while also still being grateful for where I'm at. Do you understand what I mean by that? I feel like that's what July is here to teach you, you know, because at the end of the day, your hope and fear is the King of Swords. I feel like on a hope level, you are very hopeful that your meticulous planning and your stratagem will pay off. Pay off, not play off. But on a fear level, I feel like this is also you overthinking and being like, well, I did something wrong, or I'm not doing this, or I'm not doing that, you know? The way my guides are saying this is it's very easy to look at yourself. And this is just a general thing too. It's very easy to look at ourselves and kind of pluck, and pick at our insecurities and what we think is not good enough to get us where we want to go. And I feel like your guides are reminding you now that this is not appropriate right now. Okay. Or maybe not appropriate, but ask yourself what it's doing for you. How is it helping you? It's not. So why are we doing it? Why are we participating in it? You know? The way my guides just said this to me also is that it takes years to disprove a core belief. You know, so for a lot of you, the Tower, like I said, a lot of you are kind of fighting off this core self-limiting belief right now in July. And it feels like your guides want you to remember that it takes years to do this. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. So keep at it, you know, keep fighting that limiting belief, you know. And 2 of Pentacles, it's not easy, babe. It's not easy balancing it, you know. It's a tricky business, you know. The way my guide is showing this to me is, have you ever seen a waitress walk out in a restaurant and she's got like 9 drinks on the tray and you're like, oh my god, I hope she doesn't fall? That's kind of the energy, Capricorn, I feel like you are embodying in July for yourself. It is that energy of like, okay, I'm juggling all these different things to make sure that I don't like drop any of them. And it is a little bit difficult, Capricorn, but also the way I'm hearing it is you make it look easy. Okay, like I don't feel like people would see this and think this of you. You know, people wouldn't look at you and be like, oh, you're really stressed. You know, you're juggling a lot right now. You're fighting self-limiting beliefs right now. I don't think people would think that at all if they were to look at you. Okay, so Capricorn, acknowledge, yes, it is difficult, but also acknowledge, like, fuck yeah, I'm doing it. I'm the baddest bitch out here. You know, like, change the way you're talking to yourself. Okay? Your outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. I love this for you, Capricorn, because you do have divine backup right now, is what I almost want to say it, is how I almost want to say it. The Wheel of Fortune is sort of your guides, your ancestors, whoever it is that you are praying to and dealing with and interacting with, showing up and showing out for you. And I feel like a lot of you need to remember here that you are very divinely guided and you are very divinely protected. Okay? But this is really positive, Capricorn. Earth signs popping off in July. This is great. All the Earth sign readings I feel like were really good. You guys are showing up really strong, really in your power. I love to see it. Yeah, Two of Cups, Queen of Cups, Eight of Swords. I feel like some of you, this is kind of funny how my guy just saying this to me. Some of you guys are going to end up locking yourselves in your room with your own emotions to deal with them. I feel like with this Eight of Swords, I don't feel like this is more so of like a trap, like you feeling trapped. I almost feel like, again, it's this energy of I'm going to lock myself in my room until I can learn to deal with what I'm doing or the way I'm thinking or to deal with what's coming up for me right now. You know, overall, I feel like you guys are exercising a lot of really good behaviors here for yourself. Like, I feel like there's a lot of there's like a lot of very high maturity this month for you, Capricorn, and I feel like you are doing really well, okay? But we're gonna get some oracle cards for advice for you here as well. I'm just cleaning up a little bit. I keep forgetting to like clean up after I read because then I get stressed. Like I'll end a reading with cards strewn all over my desk and then I'm like, oh my god, why am I so stressed right now? And I'm like, oh, it's because I'm not cleaning up as I'm going. So let's get you an oracle card. The oracle deck we are using is the Angelarium. As always, this deck is absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend it. It was a Kickstarter. I don't know if it's available anymore, but it is like my favorite oracle deck to date. Okay. Can I get an oracle card for Capricorn for the month of July, please? Capricorn. Month of July, please. Thank you. Interesting. You guys got Samyaza, Angel of Pride. I believe he is the first one. I think he's 19. He is. He is numbered 19 for those of you that are into numerology. 19 would be 1 plus 9 is 10, so endings and beginnings. We love to see it. When this card is revealed, consider the ways in which you have control over your own dominion and mastery. You have the power to give labels to the features of your life, and with that comes the power to influence those objects, places, relationships, and other aspects of your world. It may be valuable to consider whether that power is wielded responsibly or with selfish intent. All right, I feel like Capricorn, again, I feel like this is just to bolster your whole reading of like, your world is in your hands. You are an active participant in your own life and you are a co-creator of your own destiny. Don't forget that in July, all right? Capricorn, I will leave you with this. That is your monthly reading for July. If this reading resonated with you, if my reading style resonates with you, do consider liking and subscribing. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. If you would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch, reading tarot, doing collectives, doing personals. So you can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST, as well as Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. EST. And Capricorn, I hope to see you on Twitch, but if I don't, that's okay. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.